Very pleasant good evening, everyone. Welcome to Bruin Field House on the campus of Bartlesville High School in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, for this first round matchup in the Great American Conference Championship between the top seed SNU Crimson Storm and the number 8 seed Ouachita Baptist. Welcome, everyone. My name is Luke McConnell. Thank you for joining us for tonight's game. Very exciting time to be an SNU Crimson Storm fan, as SNU has won the regular season title back-to-back seasons and are looking to become the first team in Great American Conference history to repeat as tournament champions. Of course, last year, SNU won the championship here in Bartlesville and are looking now to do the exact same thing again this year with a familiar foe across the way. This will be the 4th straight season that SNU has matched up with the Tigers here in the first round of the conference championship. The first 2 matchups were won by Ouachita, and then last year SNU came out on top of the Tigers en route to the tournament championship. Last night, the Great American Conference first teams and award winners were announced. I just want to run through those for the guys. We'll talk about the women's teams tomorrow when the women tip off against Southeastern. Tip time for that game is set for 2:15 p.m. We will have full coverage for you starting at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. For the men's side, though, Player of the Year, Kevin Buckingham from Southeastern Oklahoma State. Noah Starkey, first player to repeat as Defensive Player of the Year, and head coach Adam Bohach repeating as Coach of the Year. Again, the first time that an award has been repeated in conference history. Noah was also named to the Distinguished Scholar Athletes list, and he's a member of the first team, and he's joined by fellow starters Jonathan Dunn and Micah Spate on the first team. Rounding out the awards, Freshman of the Year, Jalen Brooks of Southern Arkansas, and Newcomer of the Year, Antonio Wade of Oklahoma Baptist. Joining Dunn, Spate, and Starkey on the first team are Buckingham, Cameron Talley of East Central, and Devontae Brooks of Southern Arkansas. SNU comes into tonight's game off a 2-point loss on Saturday at Arkansas Monticello. The Boll Weevils hit a shot with just a couple seconds remaining in that one to win 62-60. SNU dropping a tough one there to close out the season. It snapped a 5-game winning streak, but SNU has had this top seed locked up for quite some time, and the biggest issue for SNU right now is looking ahead to the NCAA tournament. They are number 6 in the most recent regional rankings that came out earlier this week. But SNU coming into tonight, familiar foe again in Ouachita. They swept the season series with the Tigers. 64-58 was the final in Bethany. And at Ouachita on February 2nd, SNU came out on top 86-71, the final score there. SNU, the paint production the past few games has been huge, with R.J. Palmer and Quaylen Newton manning the middle along with Noah Starkey. Of course, Starkey averaging a career-high 14.6 points per game this season, along with 7.5 rebounds per game. And he's averaging, Starkey is 11.5 points per game in his last 4 contests. A little bit under average for him after a sizzling middle of the season run for the big fella from Hutchinson, Kansas. But SNU's offense has been the story the second half of the season. And in February, SNU averaged over a point per possession in all 8 contests. And the biggest reason why was a huge increase in free throw attempts. During the month of February, SNU averaged 29 free throw attempts in those 8 games. Big increase from earlier in the season, and a big reason why SNU was able to win by 15 at Ouachita earlier this season. SNU went 30 of 38 from the foul line in that contest. Coming into tonight's game, SNU, Micah Spate. We should see the starting lineup be about the same for SNU tonight, and they're going to be facing a tough test in containing senior guard Malin Martin for Ouachita. Martin comes in number 7 in the conference in scoring at 15.1 points per game. He's also the number 2 three-point shooter by percentage. He's shooting 46% from three-point range. He's number 1 in the conference in free throw attempts at 90% per game. But in the first 2 contests this season, SNU did a tremendous job guarding Martin and limiting Ouachita's offense. Martin just went 6 of 24 from the field and 2 of 11 from three-point range, just a total of 15 points. And of course, this season averaged 15 points per game. So a tremendous defensive job by the SNU guards, Micah Spate, Zach Johnson, Coleman Edwards, and Jonathan Dunn, all doing a great job to limit the senior guard from Little Rock, Arkansas. SNU also will have to contend with the inside play of Matt Stanley. Stanley is 6'8" sophomore from Cabot, Arkansas. He's number 18 in the conference in rebounding at 5.2 per game. Had a big game in Bethany. SNU was able to limit him a little bit more in Arkadelphia. So it would be interesting to see what Noah Starkey's able to do in the middle against a team that has a true big guy in the middle, something that not every team in this conference can say, and that certainly limits the options for Stark, as we saw a couple weeks back in our last broadcast at the Sawyer Center with Arkansas Tech, making things difficult for SNU and Noah Starkey out on the perimeter. And of course, that's something that SNU will need to figure out as they move toward a potential meeting with Southeastern in the conference championship game. That is certainly something to consider for SNU. But right now, all attention on the Tigers and all attention on SNU. Couple injuries for SNU, just to highlight. Jonathan Dunn went down hard in that Arkansas Tech game with a shoulder injury. Went up for a massive dunk, was unable to complete it, and came down hard on his left shoulder. He's not quite 100%, but he does look good out there in warm-ups right now and is showing no effects of that shoulder injury, so we'll see how he's able to go. Zach Johnson also tweaked a groin in that loss at Monticello, and he's out there warming up as well and looks ready to start, but certainly concern for SNU, who needs all hands on deck in this conference championship run. And we'll see if SNU is able to overcome those obstacles and get back to playing the way they were throughout the month of February, which saw them score over 90 points in 5 of those 8 games. As the teams head to their benches, we'll get ready to roll through the starting lineups for both teams. We've got a little bit of a issue here.
Pull up the stats.
As one of the clocks to our right, we're here courtside at Bruins Fieldhouse, and the clock to our right above the basket is currently out, so we'll see if they're able to get that fixed. And they've got a maintenance worker here to mess with that. It looked like one of the Ouachita players dunked it a little bit too hard going through warm-ups there, but looking over at the SNU bench, it looks like it will be the normal starting 5. For SNU. Against for SNU, number 3, junior guard Micah Spate, 5'10", from Putnam City North High School in Oklahoma City. Number 4, he's averaging 14 points per game, 4.6 rebounds per game, and 5.2 assists per game. That assist number good for number 4 in the conference. He also 3rd in steals at 1.9 per game. Number 15, Zach Johnson, senior guard, 6 foot from Mansfield, Texas. He's averaging 4.3 points per game and 2.5 rebounds per game. He's number 10 in the conference in steals at 1.2 per game. Senior Quaylen Newton, number 22, he's 6'3" from Bryan, Texas, averaging 7.3 points per game and 6.2 rebounds per game. He's only got 5 points and 7 rebounds in his last 2 outings. Jonathan Dunn, number 25, a 6'4" junior from San Antonio, Texas. He's number 5 in the conference in scoring at 17.8 points per game. Number 6 in free throw percentage and number 5 in steals per game. SNU number 2 in the conference in steals at 7.2 per game, and they're number 1 in blocks at 4.1 per game, courtesy of Noah Starkey. 56 total blocks this season. He's the number 1 in blocks per game and in total blocks. Again, averaging 14.6 points per game. That's good for 10th in the conference. 7.5 rebounds per game. Good for 5th in the conference. And he's number 4 in field goal percentage, 58.5% shooting this season. Running through the starters for Ouachita Baptist. Again, number 2, Malin Martin, 5'10" senior guard from Little Rock, Arkansas, 15 points per game and 46% three-point shooting. Number 3, Eric Brown, 6'3" junior from Greenville, Mississippi. Number 20, Wesley Franklin, 6'5" senior from Frisco, Texas. He's number 11 in the conference in field goal percentage at 51%. Number 21, Kendarius Smith, 6'2" sophomore from Conway, Arkansas. Number 2 in scoring on the team, 10.6 per game. Also 35% three-point shooter. And number 41, Matthew Ward, 6'3" senior from Charleston, Arkansas. He's only started 8 games coming into tonight's contest, averaging 4 points per game, and he's a 44% three-point shooter. So Ouachita going a little bit small right now, and looks like we've got a slight delay as we're still working on the shot clock here as maintenance workers checking out what's going to happen here, and we'll see if we're able to get that operational. That certainly would be a slight issue as the game continues if we've only got shot clock and game clock on over one backboard here at Bruins Fieldhouse. SNU's been able to get out to good starts in most of their wins this season in their 5-game winning streak. All wins coming by double digits. Biggest was a 40-point blowout of Oklahoma Baptist back on Valentine's Day. Now, they scored 90 points at least, or excuse me, 93 points at least in those last 4 home contests before a 75-59 win over Southern Arkansas last week. Still getting things sorted out here as we wait on tip time at Bruins Fieldhouse. Thank you again for joining us. We'll have complete coverage of the GAC tournament all weekend long as the Crimson Storm remain in contention here. Again, single elimination. One upset already so far on the women's side. Arkansas Tech with a double overtime win over the number 2 seed East Central. And the number 1 seed Southwestern in a dogfight in the game right before this against Northwestern. They ended up winning that game by 5, but trailed halfway through the 4th quarter in what was a very exciting back-and-forth affair. On the men's side, Southeastern controlled things from start to finish with an easy win over Monticello. So Southeastern will await the winner of OBU and the number 6 seed in the tournament, East Central, whereas the winner of this game will take on the winner of Southern Arkansas and Henderson State. That game is tomorrow. We're all set to go here. Clocks are operational And we're ready for Great American Conference Championship basketball. Noah Starkey and Wesley Franklin in the middle, and Franklin wins the tip for the Tigers. Tigers moving left to right here in front of us. We are opposite the benches here at Bruins Fieldhouse. Strong contingent of SNU fans here. Ward in the corner three is no good, and Micah Spade has the rebound. Zach Johnson on the left wing, guarded by Martin. Now Starkey top of the key, over to the right wing to Spate. Looking to post up, Quaylen Newton on Ward. Size advantage for Newton, and he bodies through Ward and puts it in for two. First points of the game for SNU. Franklin. It's now Smith. He's guarded by Dunn. Eric Brown with it. Micah Spade draws the assignment on him. It's a screen from Franklin. Franklin gets inside, gets Newton in the air, stops, and gets the sky hook in the lane to fall, and we're tied at 2. A minute gone by, Spate going behind the pick. Zach Johnson with it now. Now Johnson again with it on the left corner. Drives baseline, dumps it off to Starkey. Backing down Franklin, he's doubled by Brown. Brown fades away, and Starkey hits the hook shot over Franklin. If SNU can get Noah Starkey going early, it's going to be a long night for the Tigers inside. Franklin standing just 6'5". Matt Stanley will come off the bench again, like we mentioned in pregame. He's 6'8", a little bit more of a body to contend with Starkey inside. Brown dumps it down low to Franklin. He'll try a long two. It's long, and Spate has another rebound for SNU. Spate running into Newton on the screen there. Now pivots to the foul line. Dunn with it on the left wing. Ward switches off to guard him. Dunn penetrates, drives to the basket, and that's a goaltending on Wesley Franklin. And 2 points early for Jonathan Dunn. Dunn has struggled from the field. He's 2 of 14 from 3 in the last 3 games, and 12 of 40 from the field overall in the last 3 games. So good to see him getting on the board early with his first shot attempt. SNU a perfect 3 for 3 from the field, and it's 6-2 Crimson Storm. Franklin now over to Martin, guarded by Zach Johnson. Brown calling for a screen from Franklin. Now Ward with it, gets it down low to Franklin. Left-hand hook shot's no good, and Newton clears for SNU. Newton quickly pushing it up the other way. Spate hiding behind Newton for 3, that's long. And the rebound comes down to Smith. Thought about a long pass to Brown, thought better of it. Instead, he penetrates. Euro steps through Jonathan Dunn. Missed the shot, but foul called on Dunn before the shot. Number 1 on Jonathan Dunn. First team foul on the Crimson Storm. And Ouachita will inbound on the baseline. Ball comes into Martin. Now up top to Franklin. Eric Brown with it now. Now Ward working over the left wing, guarded by Newton. Ball is tipped, deflected, stolen by Newton, and saved off of Wesley Franklin out of bounds. Quaylen Newton with a great hustle play for the Crimson Storm to force the turnover. 3 minutes gone by, SNU leading this one 6-2. Micah Spate will bring it up for the Storm. Now Newton, the right wing, looking inside for Starkey. Now Zach Johnson. We're going to get a foul call on Wesley Franklin trying to body up Noah Starkey inside. And again, tremendous mismatch in favor of the Crimson Storm there. Micah Spate inbound on the baseline. Ball comes into Johnson on the left wing. Dunn off the screen. Free throw line extended, missed it. Franklin the rebound. Martin ball goes out of bounds as the pass from Martin to Franklin was a little wild. Franklin ran Micah Spade over, but officials let that contact go, and another turnover for the Tigers. R.J. Palmer into the game for the first time. Quaylen Newton will take a seat. Palmer's had 12 double-figure scoring games this season. Starkey backing down Franklin. Beautiful move over the right shoulder, in and out, no good with the hook shot, and Franklin clears. And Brown quickly coming back the other way for the Tigers. Martin on the left wing, in front of the SNU bench. Now Brown with it up top. Back to Martin. Again, Martin, a 46% three-point shooter, but he has struggled against SNU. Brown will force up the three-pointer. It's no good. Franklin got inside of Starkey for the rebound. Ball's knocked away by Palmer and taken by Johnson. SNU coming back the other way. Already the third turnover for the Tigers. Palmer has that pass slip out of his hands, and it will go out of bounds to the Tigers. Timeout on the court. And we'll keep it right here. SNU leads this one 6-2, 15:34 to go here in the first half. SNU off to a 3 of 6 start from the field. They have missed their last 3. And already have forced 3 turnovers for the Tigers. Again, R.J. Palmer coming into the game in his usual spot after about 3.5, 4 minutes for Quaylen Newton. Palmer, 37 free throw attempts in his last 6 games. He's shooting 70% from the foul line on those makes as well. And he has made a tremendous leap in his offensive production so far this season. Up averaged 3.3 points per game last year. He's at 8.8 points per game this year, and his aggression, especially on the fast break, something to contend with if you are the opponent. Back to action here. Matt Stanley into the game for the first time for Ouachita. Same lineup we closed the timeout with for SNU. Stanley with it up top. Now gets it over to Martin on the left wing. Chooses not to use the Ward screen. Ward in the corner. Now Stanley down low. Goes through Starkey. A lot of contact there, no call. Starkey comes away with the rebound and gets it up ahead to Micah Spate. Spate goes around the Starkey pick. Leaves it off for Johnson on the right wing. Now Dunn. Extended up top. Crosses over Smith. Gets inside. Left-hand layup is no good, but he'll go to the foul line for 2 shots. Jonathan Dunn, good aggressive play to start this one. That foul is going to go on number 21, Kendarius Smith, his first. Second team foul on the Tigers, and Dunn at the line for 2. He's an 82.6% foul shooter this season, and he gets the first one to go. Coleman Edwards into the game for the first time. Zach Johnson will take a seat. Morris Talbert in for Eric Brown for the Tigers. Coleman Edwards has had a tremendous second half of the season. He's 22 of his last 44 from three-point range. That's over the past 10 games, beginning with that January 31st win over Henderson State. And that includes an 0-for-5 showing against Arkansas Tech in the home finale. Smith gets inside. He's blocked, but instead the foul is going to be called. And that's going to go on Jonathan Dunn, and that's number 2 on Jonathan Dunn. So Dunn in a bit of early foul trouble, and it's going to be Chris Stevens who comes off the bench for SNU to replace the junior from San Antonio. Smith, foul shot is good on the first one. So Dunn with 2 early fouls. Also has 4 points to lead the Storm. Smith is off with the second free throw, and the lead remains 5 for SNU. So it's Edwards, Spate, Stevens, Starkey, and Palmer. So 4 seniors and a junior, and Palmer traveled before he put the ball on the ground there. Of course, Stevens, the redshirt junior, but will graduate and move on to the next step of his life next season. So second turnover on SNU. Ouachita coming back the other way, down 8-3. Stanley up top. Now over to Martin, now guarded by Spate. Ward finds himself open in the corner for 3, and he knocks it down. Ward, a 44% free throw shooter on 54 attempts this season, draws the Tigers within 2. Edwards up top now. Spade on the right wing, looking to post up R.J. Palmer. Starkey at the free throw line, guarded by Stanley. Edwards, guarded by Talbert. Now Palmer backing down Ward. Gets around and beautiful left-handed shot. Rolls out, but Stevens has the offensive rebound. Great hustle for the junior. Spite fires it into Starkey. Pivots. Long right-hand hook shot is no good, and Stanley has the rebound for the Tigers. Smith coming the other way. Now Talbert on the right wing, guarded by Stevens. He gets inside to the basket, and he is fouled on the drive by Chris Stevens. Excuse me, that foul is going to go on Coleman Edwards on the reach in, and that is going to be the first on Edwards. Third team foul on the Storm, and Morris Talbert will go to the line for 2. Talbert is 71.4% free throw shooter this season. Rattles the first one in. Quaylen Newton in for Noah Starkey. And Trey Harris, 5'11 junior from Little Rock, Arkansas, into the game for the first time for the Tigers, as Malin Martin will take a seat. Martin did not attempt a shot in that first 6.5-minute run for him. Also into the game for the first time, number 11, Allie Freeman, 5'9 junior, also from Little Rock, Arkansas. Same high school as Malin Martin, Episcopal Collegiate Prep. Kendarius Smith will take a seat for the Tigers. We're all tied up at 8 here. The SNU's 0 for their last 5 and haven't hit a field goal in about 4 minutes now. Spate getting inside. Palmer. That's going to be an offensive foul as Matt Stanley stepped up and drew the charge there. First foul on Palmer, and that's going to be the 4th team foul on the Crimson Storm. So Freeman bringing it up for the Tigers to have a chance to take their first lead of the evening. Talbert, now Ward, guarded by Edwards up top. Stevens nearly jumped the passing lane, but Harris was able to get it back. Ward, quick trigger for 3 again, and he knocks it down. Bit of an odd rotation on that shot, but still goes in. And it's 11-8 Ouachita. It's a 9-0 run over the last 2 minutes for the Tigers. Stevens wide open, top of the key for 3. Banked it in! And a foul is going to be called on Matthew Ward. So the 3-pointer counts, and SNU will maintain possession here after the foul on Matthew Ward. Brady Mulkey checking in for R.J. Palmer, so early run for the junior from Royce City, Texas. So SNU inbounding on the baseline. Backdoor lob for Newton, and he slams it home! Timeout Ouachita on a 5-point possession for SNU. We'll keep it right here for a 30-second timeout. And what a possession for SNU to halt the 9-0 run by the Tigers. Of course, Quaylen Newton, known for his athletic ability, and he got up on that one and put that home with authority. Certainly a partisan SNU crowd here in Bartlesville for this first round matchup. We got the Southeastern guys behind us, as well as some of the other teams. SNU women are here behind us as well. So again, a 5-point possession for SNU gives the Crimson Storm a 13-11 lead. 12:43 to go first half as Freeman brings it up against Spate. Now Harris in front of the SNU bench. Mulkey and Stanley battling inside. Now Ward with it on the right wing, guarded by Edwards. Harris gets inside of Stevens. Stops, fades in the lane. Missed it. Stanley the offensive rebound, and he's fouled. That's going to be on Edwards, and that's going to be number 2 on Coleman Edwards as well. So early foul trouble for SNU. Already the 5th team foul for the Crimson Storm. And Zach Johnson set to check in for Edwards. Stanley knocks down the first free throw. He's a 65% free throw shooter this season. And one more coming here for the sophomore. He knocks it down, and we're tied at 13. Quick substitution here coming for the Tigers. Ward is checking out. Isaiah Harper into the game for the first time, 6'4" junior from Little Rock, Arkansas. So Spate, Newton, Johnson, Mulkey, and Stevens on the court right now. And SNU with a veteran bunch, certainly able. Johnson gets in, kicks in the corner to Spate. He drives. Now he's matched up with Stanley. He'll pull the trigger from three straight away. He airballed it, and Harper has the miss. Harris, long lead pass up ahead to Stanley. Trapped, rejected inside. I believe that was Johnson who got that, and Stevens has the miss. Spate over to Newton. Now Spate gets it back. Johnson with it, splits defenders. Corner, Micah Spate, three, off the mark. And Morris Talbert the rebound. He's shut down by Stevens. Now Freeman gets it back over to Stanley. Harris using the Stanley pick. Stanley pulls the trigger for three. That's long. Newton high for the rebound. Gets it over to Micah Spate. Spate with it. Now gets it down low to Newton. He's guarded by Stanley. Pivot, gets inside of him. Wild shot off the glass, and he gets it to go. Quayla Newton with 4 early points. Gives SNU a 15-13 lead. Johnson nearly shot the passing lane on Harris there. Now Freeman with it. Talbert in the corner. He'll try a three over Newton. It's good. And the Tigers retake the lead 16-15. Tigers have already hit 3 3-pointers. They lead the conference in three-point shooting at 40% per game. They certainly don't take as many as, say, Arkansas Tech, but they are effective with it. Newton across the lane gets the hook shot to go. Quayla Newton doing it all so far for SNU. He's up to 8 points, and on the seesaw we go. SNU with a 17-16 lead, nearly 10 minutes gone by. Harris behind the Harper pick, gets it over to Talbert on the left wing in front of the SNU bench. He's guarded by Newton. Now Freeman with it. Gets inside to Stanley. He's guarded by Mulkey. Stanley pivots. Hook shot across the lane's no good. Spate has another rebound, pushing the other way. Got the speed advantage on Freeman, and he's fouled by Allie Freeman, and Micah Spate will go to the line for two when we come back. 9:49 to go first half. SNU in a dogfight here early. 17-16 Crimson Storm with the lead, looking to add to it when we come back after this. Welcome back to Bruins Fieldhouse. SNU leading this one 17-16 over the 8-seed Ouachita Tigers. And Micah Spate heading to the line for 2 free throws with 9:49 to go here in the first half. SNU shooting 50% so far. A little bit of foul trouble in this first half as Coleman Edwards and Jonathan Dunn both with 2 fouls. Noah Starkey is back in for Brady Mulkey. And Spate is short with that first free throw. Spate, an 82% free throw shooter. That's number 7 in the conference. Second free throw is in. And Spate will take his first break of the first half. Jonathan Dunn returns with those 2 fouls. Of course, we've seen that throughout the season. Coach Adam Bohach not afraid to play his guys in tough situations with foul trouble. Martin hounded by Zach Johnson. Now Harper, Talbert trying to drive on Newton. Franklin bodying up Starkey. Talbert got Johnson in the air. Great rotation by SNU. Freeman tied up by Newton across the lane, and then he is finally tied up by Jonathan Dunn, and that's going to be SNU basketball. Great defensive pressure by Quaylen Newton as Freeman had nowhere to go across the lane. SNU was able to get the tie-up and the change of possession there. 9:25 to go first half. SNU with a 2-point lead at 18-16. It's Johnson, Newton, Dunn, Stevens, and Starkey on the court. Chris Stevens seeing some extended minutes as Ouachita goes to a zone. Dunn shoots over the top. He missed it, and that's going to be a foul on Morris Talbert, undercutting Newton on the box out. Head coach Dennis Nutt did not appreciate the call, but that's going to be the call on Talbert, his first and the 15th foul on the Tigers. Of course, Dennis Nutt, the brother of former Arkansas and Ole Miss football coach Houston Nutt, and Houston Nutt is in the crowd here across the way. Johnson drives right, gives it off to Starkey with a one-handed flush. Noah Starkey mixing it up with a one-hand flush. Normally he's more of a two-hand guy. Harris, Freeman dives down the lane, floater, and he rattles it in across the rim. Allie Freeman's first points of the game, and it's 20-18 as we tick down under 9 minutes to go. Ouachita in a 2-3 zone here. Newton at the elbow, gets it down to Starkey. Kick, Johnson wing, 4-3, off the mark. Stevens the offensive rebound. He's fouled going up. And Stevens will go to the line for 2. It's going to be on Trey Harris. Going to be his first 16th foul. And Chris Stevens, 79% free throw shooter this season. He does not have a lot of attempts this season, but he will go to the line for 2. Be just free throw attempt number 20 on the season for Chris Stevens, and he goes front rim, backboard, and in. Ashton Charles into the game for Quaylen Newton. First appearance for Ashton Charles, and Malin Martin into the game back into the game, I should say. Stevens with the second one. In and out, no good, and the SNU lead is 3 at 21-18. Freeman gets the Franklin screen, pulls the trigger for 3, and he knocks it down. Allie Freeman, a 37.5% three-point shooter, ties the score at 21. Again, just like we all expected, dogfight here between the Storm and the Tigers for the 4th straight season in the Great American Conference Championship. Dunn with it now. Now Charles with it. Swings it across to Johnson. 8 on the shot clock. Johnson off the glass. No, but Starkey is there for the tip-in. Great job by Starkey being in position for the offensive rebound and the tip-in over the crowd. And it's 23-21 SNU. Talbert goes behind the Franklin pick, gets into the body of Starkey. He got the shot by the fingertips, and he gives it off to Johnson. Starkey's first block of the game. Johnson over to Dunn, now in the corner to Stevens. Stevens looking to post up Starkey, but now gets it to him on the baseline. A little bit far out for Starkey's liking, so swings it over. Jonathan Dunn from the right wing for 3. That's well short. Charles battling for the rebound, and that's going to be a foul on Ashton Charles going for the rebound, and that will take us to a stoppage in play. 7:02 to go first half. SNU with a 2-point lead, 23-21 over Ouachita. We'll take timeout and be right back after this. Welcome back to Bruins Fieldhouse. SNU leading 23-21. That last foul was on Ashton Charles, his first. That's 16 fouls, so free throws the rest of the half for both squads as they'll be in 1-1 for the rest of the foreseeable future. Kendarius Smith also back in the game along with Eric Brown for Ouachita. Martin dumps it down low to Franklin. Kicks it back out to Smith. Smith gets inside of Charles. Eye off the glass is no good. Franklin gets the offensive rebound. Kick out Martin, thought about a three. Instead enters it back in low to Franklin. Charles missed the steal. Now up top to Brown. Down low on to Smith. Smith pulls the trigger for three after the step back, and that's going to be a foul on Franklin, pulling Noah Starkey back. That's going to be foul number 2 on Wesley Franklin. And Noah Starkey will go to the foul line at the other end for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Starkey already with 6 points on 3 of 5 shootings. Also got 3 boards so far. This is his first trip to the free throw line. He's had 0 free throw attempts in 2 of the last 4 games. 72.6% free throw shooter this season. High arcing shot is off the rim, no good, and Brown clears for Ouachita. Freeman working it up slowly against Micah Spate. Sandwich between Smith and Franklin there, and there's a steal. Micah Spate in the open court. Puts it up high off the glass, no good. A foul coming on Kendarius Smith. And Micah Spate will go back to the free throw line for 2 shots. Spate frustrated, he was unable to complete the 3-point play opportunity. But he'll get back to the foul line for 2 here, where he is 1 for 2 so far tonight. 0 of 3 from the field, all 3-point attempts. First free throw is good. Coleman Edwards back into the game for SNU. Again, Edwards has those 2 fouls. Dunn will take a seat. He's got 2 fouls as well. Matt Ward back into the game for Ouachita. He's already hit 2 3-pointers tonight. Spade hits both free throws. It's 25-21 SNU. 6 minutes to go first half, and Smith gets the 3-pointer to go as Edwards got crossed up on the defensive assignment and left Smith open in the corner. So then Noah Starkey is going to be called for an offensive foul trying to create position inside. It's going to be number 1 on Starkey, 7th team foul on the Crimson Storm, and Ouachita can retake the lead here with a bucket. Malin Martin bringing it up. Martin yet to attempt a shot in this game. Again, number 7 in the conference and scoring at 15 points per game. Penetrate, kick in the corner. Ward, good closeout, Ashton Charles. Skip pass over to Brown on the right wing. He's guarded by Spate. Spate shutting down the passing lane to Franklin. Now Franklin extended, high arcing jumpers long off the back of the iron. Ward tried to tip the rebound away from Charles, but Charles has it. Now Spate, top of the key, Ashton Charles, 3-pointer, yes! Ashton Charles, the sophomore from Klein Collins High School in Spring, Texas, knocks down his first 3 of the game. Charles just a 26% 3-point shooter this season, but as we've talked about throughout the year, certainly not lacking confidence in his shot, and that's good to see. Franklin runs over Starkey, and a blocking foul called on Noah Starkey. That's going to be number 2 on Starkey. The SNU crowd not pleased with that call as Starkey looked to be in good position. And R.J. Palmer and Quaylen Newton are going to enter the game for Starkey and Charles. Chad and Bohach staring down the official here in front of us who made the call. It's going to be a 1-on-1 opportunity for Wesley Franklin. 68% free throw shooter this season. 5 minutes to go first half. Franklin high arcing free throw attempt is off the rim multiple times and finally comes down, and Edwards has the rebound. The bounce off the rim was nearly as high as the free throw attempt itself. Spate gets inside, and he's going to be fouled. sure who that call was on. It is going to be on Franklin, and that is going to be number 3 on Wesley Franklin. So Matt Stanley coming back in for the Tigers, and Micah Spate back to the free throw line looking to extend a 4-point SNU lead. 4:49 to go first half. First one's up and good. And Stanley will give Franklin some relief here. It's the 9th team foul on Ouachita, so SNU double bonus the rest of the way here in the first half. Second free throw for Spate is good, and SNU leads by 6. SNU shooting 48% from the field so far, holding the Tigers to just 35%. The Tigers have knocked down 5 of 9 from three-point range. That's what's keeping them in this. Smith tries a 3. That's short. Good box out from R.J. Palmer on Stanley. Johnson pushing tempo. Spade steps right into a three-pointer. It's short. R.J. Palmer the offensive rebound. And he kicks it back up top to Zach Johnson, and SNU will reset with a new shot clock. Edwards wide open in the corner for 3. It's long. Newton and Stanley hustling for it. Stanley with a little bump on Newton. And the ball deflects out of bounds and over to Ouachita. 4:08 to go first half. Martin bringing it up for Ouachita again. Martin has not attempted a shot. He's got 2 assists and a rebound so far. And SNU has done a great job on him. 6 of 24 from the field in the 2 contests this season. Ward Brown lost it. Ward has it. Top of the key, wide open for 3. He knocked it down. So scramble play goes against SNU there. The 6th three-pointer already. And then Ward deflects the long lead pass from Micah Spade out of bounds, and that will take us to a timeout on the court. 3:40 to go first half. SNU leading by 3. With possession when we come back right after this. SNU leading this one 30-27 over the 8th-seeded Tigers. SNU inbounding on the baseline down from us in front of the Ouachita bench. Spate up top with it. Jonathan Dunn is back in. So it's Dunn, Newton, Palmer, Spate, and Johnson on the court right now for the Crimson Storm. Dunn goes baseline, shut off by Talbert and Stanley. Ball swings around. Down low to Newton. Lost the ball. Looked like he turned his ankle a little bit, but either way, Ouachita with the turnover. Chance to tie here with a 3-pointer. Brown, as Spate tried to jump in and make the steal there, and he's whistled for his first personal foul, and that's going to send Eric Brown to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Eric Brown, a 73.2% free throw shooter this season. Matthew Ward will check out. Kendarius Smith back into the game for Ouachita. Difference so far in this game has been the 3-point line. SNU just 2 for 10. Ouachita 6 for 11. And Matthew Ward has 3 of those 6. He's 3 for 4 from deep. Brown hits the first free throw. And knocks down the second one to bring the Tigers within 1 at 30-29. Spate now guarded by Talbert. Johnson up top. Now done with it. Drives baseline. Shot over Martin's no good. Quaylen Newton tips the offensive rebound to himself, then saves it off of Stanley out of bounds to preserve the possession for SNU. Already the 6th offensive rebound for SNU in the contest. And Martin will take a seat. Certainly seems like he's laboring a little bit. Not sure what his status is, and he's going to go talk with the trainer. Spate gets it trapped in the corner now. Gets it down low to Palmer. Shuffles it over to Newton. Drives in. He's fouled hard by Stanley. And Newton will go to the line for 2. Going to be the first foul on Matt Stanley. And the 10th team foul. Can't tell from here what the trainer is stretching on Malin Martin. Almost looks like it's an oblique or something of the sort. But regardless, Martin is certainly not 100%, and that would probably explain why he has not taken a shot yet in this game. Obviously a huge development for the Tigers. Newton goes 1 for 2 from the line. It's a 2-point lead for SNU at 31-29. Brown guarded by Dunn up top. Now Talbert. Allie Freeman. Stanley with a nice face. He's rejected by Newton at the rim, but foul is going to go on Quaylen Newton. Stanley went for the dunk, and Newton turned it away, but a little bit too much contact on the block as well. It's going to be the first foul on Quaylen Newton and send Matt Stanley to the line for 2 free throws. Stanley, again, a 65% free throw shooter this season. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Missed the first one long. One more upcoming. 2:26 to go first half. SNU leading by 2, 31-29. It's been a bit of a dogfight so far for the Crimson Storm. As it always is with the Tigers, a very tough bunch. Stanley rattles in the second one to cut the lead to 1. Johnson guarded by Freeman up top. Looking for Dunn off the screen from Palmer. He's shut off. Now Dunn guarded by Stanley up top. Goes away from the screen. High arcing jumpers and air ball. Newton finds the offensive rebound and puts it back in. SNU doing work on the offensive glass. That's number 7, and that puts Quaylen Newton in double figures with 11. Talbert. Now Freeman pulls the trigger for 3. It's no good, and Newton flying in for the rebound. Dunn up the right side with it. He'll pull it back out and look for pass. Goes around the screen from Newton. Now Spate with it. Gets it down low to Newton. He's got Allie Freeman. Dumps it off to Palmer. Inside for 2. Great find from Quaylen Newton. And SNU has extended the lead back to 5 with a minute and a half to go in the first half. Kendarius Smith hiding behind the Stanley pick. Now Eric Brown guarded by Dunn. Again, Dunn with those 2 fouls. Brown fades away, short. Palmer with a nice box out on Stanley, and Spate coming back the other way as we tick down to a minute to go in the first half. SNU leading 35-30. Chance to seize a little bit of control here. Spade in the corner, guarded by Brown. Looking to the entry for Palmer. Spins, gets it to go. R.J. Palmer with the lay-in. And SNU leads by 7. Eric Brown. Now Kendarius Smith, guarded by Zach Johnson. Now Brown waves off Freeman, and Brown will set up the offense with 15 on the shot clock. Dunn again with those 2 fouls. Brown drives. Layup is no good. Missed the tip. Zach Johnson the rebound. Lobs it overhead to Micah Spate. And he'll dribble it out with 10 seconds and a timeout called by Coach Adam Bohach. SNU will set up for the final shot of the first half with 9.9 seconds to go. SNU doing a tremendous job on the offensive glass. They have 7 offensive rebounds, which has led to quite a few second chance opportunities. Quaylen Newton has 3 of those. He's got 6 boards and 11 points. He's 5 for 5 from the field, and the senior's been all over the place on both ends of the court. Tremendous. Big reason why SNU is leading this one by 7. Ouachita shooting just 31% from the field. And they're only in it as much as they are because 6 of those 8 field goals are 3-pointers. Just 2 made buckets inside the paint. They are 2 of 14 inside the arc, 8 of 11 from the foul line. SNU 9 of 13 from the foul line, but again, controlling the boards 23-14 right now. Spate with 5. Dunn gonna have to hurry. Hoists up a 3-pointer. It's long. Newton tips, but unable to get a clean look off there at the end of the first half. But SNU with a strong close to the first half with a 6-0 run over the final 2 minutes. They take a 37-30 lead at the end of the first 20 minutes. We'll take timeout. When we come back, we'll go over the first half stats and break down everything for you and get you ready for the second 20 minutes of action here at Bruins Fieldhouse. This is SNU basketball. Welcome back courtside here at Bruins Fieldhouse in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. First round matchup, SNU, the number 1 seed, leading the number 8 seed Ouachita Tigers 37-30 at the end of the first half as both teams are back out on the court. Warming up for the second 20 minutes, running through the first half numbers for you. SNU 13-29 from the field, 45% from the field. Just 2 of 11 from three-point range. The makes coming from Ashton Charles and Chris Stevens. Ouachita, on the other hand, just 31% from the field, 8 of 26, but 6 of 12 from three-point range. Those 6 three-pointers certainly keeping the Tigers in this one as they're just 2 of 14 inside the arc. Ouachita 8 of 11 from the foul line. SNU 9 of 13 from the foul line. SNU being led in scoring right now by Quaylen Newton. He's got 11 points, had 6 rebounds in the first half, including 3 offensive rebounds. 7 offensive rebounds for SNU in that first 20 minutes, leading to an 8-2 advantage in second chance points. SNU dominated the paint 22-4, as has been the case for the Crimson Storm the past couple weeks, as Starkey, Newton, and R.J. Palmer have all been very effective in the paint this season as the season has worn on. R.J. Palmer with 4 points, Chris Stevens with 4 points off the bench, and Ashton Charles with that three-pointer contributing off the bench as well. Jonathan Dunn, 4 points in the first half, just 1 of 7 from the field. His struggles continue shooting the ball. He's 0 of 3 from three-point range. Micah Spate has not made a field goal yet. He's 0 of 4 from the field. That's also how many three-pointers he's taken. But he's 5 of 6 from the foul line and has 5 points and 3 assists to lead all players. Noah Starkey had 6 points and 3 rebounds in the first half before sitting down late with 2 personal fouls. Jonathan Dunn and Coleman Edwards also with 2 fouls in that first half. Dunn picked those up in the first couple minutes of the game. So good job for Dunn, who played 12 and a half minutes in the first half, to not pick up that key third foul for the Crimson Storm. Zach Johnson played most of the first half, did not score. Coleman Edwards played 5 minutes, also did not score. Brady Mulkey was in for 3 critical minutes to help halt an OBU run there in the first half. He did not score as well in those first 20 minutes. For Ouachita, they're led in scoring by Matthew Ward. He's 3 of 4 from three-point range. He's got 9 points. Morris Talbert and Allie Freeman each with 5 points off the bench. They've made a three-pointer each. Kendarius Smith with 4 points. Matt Stanley, 3 points. All of his points coming from the foul line. And Wesley Franklin and Eric Brown rounding out the scoring with 2 points apiece. Trey Harris, Isaiah Harper each with 5 minutes did not score. And Malin Martin, playing 12 minutes in the first half, did not attempt a shot, had 2 assists and a rebound, and it's clear that Martin is in some pain or discomfort. He's back out on the court here to start the second half, but late in the first half went over, was stretching with the trainer. Not sure what the issue is, but he definitely is not 100% right now for the Tigers, and that would be huge for Ouachita and SNU if he's unable to be very effective the rest of the way. Inbounding right in front of us are the Tigers, and Eric Brown getting the second half started. Starting lineup is back on the court for both teams here. Wesley Franklin on the court for Ouachita with those 3 fouls he picked up in the first half. And Micah Spate with a steal right off the bat, and Eric Brown fouls him as Spate was off and running. So a quick turnover and a quick foul for Ouachita. And SNU continues to turn up the defensive pressure on the Tigers. SNU, of course, terrific defensive team this year. They're second in the conference in points per game defense at 67 and allowed just 40.7% shooting this season as well. Both good for second in the conference. And their 13-point scoring margin this season was number 1. Dunn, drive, kick in the corner, and that's going to be number 3 on Kendarius Smith. Smith tried to draw the charge on Dunn, but Smith well in the restricted area, just camped out under the hoop. An easy call for the official there. Spate inbounding on the baseline, gets into Dunn, gets Ward in the air, but does not take the shot. Now Starkey in deep, back out in the corner to Dunn. He's guarded by Smith, who again has those 3 fouls. Dunn traveled is the call. So a turnover for SNU, and we're going the other way. Dunn trying to create some space there from Smith. Looked like he dragged that pivot foot on the hard stop. So a turnover both ways to start the second half. Franklin looking for that backdoor lob. Banging inside, left-hand hook over Starkey, and it rolls home. Nice strong move inside from Wesley Franklin. Number 11 in the conference in field goal percentage at 51% per game. Starkey banging down low, pivots, shut off, kicks it back up top to Spate. Spate guarded by Ward. Now goes behind the Newton pick. Lost it, gets it back. 9 on the shot clock. Spate's got to hurry and has it ripped away from him by Malin Martin. Comes back to Starkey, foul line push shot, it's no good, and Ward has the miss. Martin, beautiful bounce pass to Franklin, and he boots it right out of bounds. Had a great angle on that window and a beautiful pass from Malin Martin, and Franklin booted it on the in-between hop. An opportunity missed there for Ouachita. SNU back the other way. 2 minutes gone by here in the second half. SNU leading by 5. Starkey spins through Franklin. Reverse layup is good. Beautiful move on the baseline from Noah Starkey. He's up to 8 points now, and the SNU lead is 7. Martin over to Brown. Swings it in the left wing to Ward. Martin grimacing coming off that screen there. Again, clearly not 100%. Brown has it ripped at by Spate. Missed the shot. Martin has the offensive rebound. Zach Johnson nearly had the steal, and now a foul is going to be called on Zach Johnson. Going for that steal. SNU very aggressive. Going for steals here to start the second half. Already have one and nearly have had 2 more. Ward inbounding. And a timeout is called as SNU with great defensive pressure nearly forcing a 5-second call. It's going to be a full timeout here. We'll take timeout with them. 17:38 to go in this one. SNU leading by 7, 39-32. We'll be right back after this. SNU leading 39-32, 17:38 to go here at Bruins Fieldhouse. First round of Great American Conference Tournament. Eric Brown guarded up top by Micah Spate. Now Martin guarded by Zach Johnson. You have to wonder at some point if Martin's going to try to fight through the pain and just start shooting. Brown, skip pass over to Ward. Now Martin with it. Penetrates inside, drives in. Lefty layup is no good, and Starkey has the miss. And Micah Spate will bring it up for SNU. It's the first aggressive drive we've seen from Martin this evening. And he was nearly able to spin the layup home through Newton and Starkey, but just came up short. Newton up top, swings it across to Johnson. Johnson looking down low to get it to Starkey. Starkey double teamed inside. Now the double leaves, pivots, kick back out to Jonathan Dunn. Dunn's gonna have to get it up, and that's gonna be a shot clock violation. SNU unaware of where the clock was right there. And another turnover for SNU. Already their third here in the second half. They had 4 in the entirety of the first half. Wesley Franklin way up top. Now Brown in front of the Ouachita bench. It's guarded by Spate. Brown driving kick, Ward gets Newton to fly by, resets for 3, and he knocks down another one. That's the 4th three-pointer for Matthew Ward. He's 4 for 5 from deep, and the lead is 4 for SNU. Dunn swinging around, finds Micah Spate. Now Newton. Spate thought about a 3, instead drives on Martin. Floater is no good. Franklin tips the rebound to himself, and here comes Martin. Spot up. Three-pointer is short. Brown gets the offensive rebound, and they'll bring it back up top. Ouachita bench was screaming for a quick bucket there, but Brown was unable to get the ball to Kendarius Smith. Smith has it now, drives on Newton. That's going to be a foul on Quayla Newton, and Smith gets the bucket to go. So Kendarius Smith will go to the line with a chance for a three-point play. After this timeout, 15:44 to go. The lead is 2. Chance to cut it to 1 for the Tigers when we come back after this. (39-37) SNU leading this one, 15:44 to go. As Kendarius Smith steps to the free throw line to complete a three-point play opportunity. That foul on Quaylen Newton, his second foul. And Smith gets that one to go. And it's a one-point game. 6-0 run for the Tigers. SNU has not scored a point in over 2.5 minutes. R.J. Palmer and Coleman Edwards into the game for Johnson and Newton. Spate looking to enter into Starkey. No go there. Now Edwards on the left wing in front of the SNU bench. Starkey powering through. He's fouled and does not get the roll. Noah Starkey will go to the line for 2. That foul is going on Kendarius Smith. Going to be number 4 on Kendarius Smith. Picked up the blocking foul earlier in the half, so Starkey back to the line for 2 free throws. He's missed his only attempt so far tonight, and he's in and out on that one. And Starkey is 72.5% free throw shooter this season. Morris Talbert into the game for Smith. Wesley Franklin sits down. Again, he has those 3 fouls as well. Matt Stanley into the game for the Tigers. Starkey misses another one. Rebound is tipped out of bounds by Morris Talbert, so SNU will maintain possession here, but missed opportunity at the foul line for SNU as Starkey misses both free throws. Spate on the inbound. Coleman Edwards, three-pointer is long. Matthew Ward the rebound. And the Tigers with an opportunity to take the lead here. Martin guarded by Spate. Now Ward with it up top. Martin swings it over to Brown on the left wing. Talbert up top. He's guarded by Palmer. Steps into a three-pointer. It's off the mark. Martin goes high for the rebound. Kick out to Brown on the wing. Swing to Talbert. Drives baseline. High arcing bank shot is good. And the Tigers have a 40-39 lead. 14:40 to go. SNU being pushed here. We're going to have a foul on Matthew Ward on the R.J. Palmer drive on the other end. And again, R.J. Palmer with the ball in his hands. Very quick to be aggressive. Fourth team foul on the Tigers already. Spade inbounding on the baseline. Inbound comes to Edwards. Now Palmer swings it back around to Spate. Down low to Starkey. Gets inside. Spins away from Stanley. Finishes through contact. SNU bench wanting a foul, but unable to get it. Brown with it. Ball moving quickly here for the Tigers. Talbert guarded by Palmer. Tries to drive, crossover, gets inside, high arcing floater over Palmer is good by Morris Talbert. And back and forth we go. 42-41 Tigers. Edwards guarded by Martin. Drives around him, floater himself, and he gets it to roll in. And the teeter-totter swings back SNU's way. Martin bringing it up against Micah Spate. Ward is guarded by Dunn now. Entry pass into Stanley. Stanley spins and Starkey rejects that one back. Eric Brown calling out for a screen. 10 on the shot clock. Brown, kick in the corner. Ward, another three-pointer. In and out, no good. Starkey had the rebound. Martin stripped it away. No look pass to Stanley. He missed the layup, gets an offensive rebound, and puts it back up and in. Malin Martin not doing any scoring, but he's grabbed 2 offensive rebounds here in the last minute or so, and they've both resulted in points. Dunn, guarded by Ward, up top. He'll pull the trigger straight away for 3. It's short. Dunn unable to find the stroke from distance. Here comes Eric Brown. Steps through Spade. Ward, the backside offensive rebound. And he gets it to go. Timeout SNU as the Tigers have opened a 46-43 lead on SNU. Malin Martin in a lot of pain right now, but he is gunning it out for Ouachita. 30-second timeout. Substitutions coming for SNU, as SNU has fallen behind 46-43. Down to just 44% from the field, and they're 2 of 13 from three-point range. Spate, Dunn, and Edwards all 0 for. Spate and Dunn both 0 for 4. Edwards 0 for 2. Meanwhile, Ouachita 7 of 16 from deep. And already 11 offensive rebounds for the Tigers. 7 of those coming here in the first 7 minutes of the second half. So the Tigers' lead is 3, 46-43, and SNU going to have to dig deep here. Ashton Charles, Brady Mulkey, and Zach Johnson into the game right now for SNU. Spate probing on Ward. Kick in the corner. Charles, three-pointer. It's long, and Martin has the miss. Crossover on Spate. Floater over Brady Mulkey is good, and Malin Martin hits his first shot of the night. 1 of 3 from the field. Those are his first points. Mulkey working on Stanley. Pivots, left-handed hook shot, no good. Brown quickly the other way. Talbert, kick, Ward, drives baseline. Stanley swings it to Morris Talbert for 3. It's good. And everything going the Tigers' way right now. It's 51-43 Ouachita in the midst of a 19-4 run over the last 4.5 minutes. And SNU in a bit of trouble here in Bartlesville. Spate finishes through contact off the glass. to halt the 9-0 burst and cut the lead to 6. SNU's faced adversity here before. They needed double overtime to beat Southeastern in the semifinals last year. Talbert trying to go through Mulkey, no good. Rebound is tipped out of bounds by Stanley, who went over the back of Micah Spate to do it. So SNU will maintain possession when we come back. 11:15 to go. Ouachita in control right now, up 51-45 on the Crimson Storm. We will take time out and come right back after this. SNU in a bit of trouble here in Bartlesville, down 51-45 with 11:15 to go in this one. Quaylen Newton and Noah Starkey back into the game. SNU struggling to get anything going from the field here in the second half. They're 2 of 14 from three-point range for the game. Meanwhile, Ouachita 8 of 17, and right now, that is the difference in the game. Spate goes behind the Starkey pick. Good hedge from Stanley there. Newton. Now Coleman Edwards looking for space. He'll pull the trigger for three. Straight away, nothing but net. Coleman Edwards with his first three-pointer of the night and a huge shot for SNU. Cuts the deficit to 3. It's a quick 5-0 burst for the Storm. Ward step back now, entry pass to Stanley. Guarded by Starkey, he spins around him. Newton was there. That's going to be goaltending on Quaylen Newton. Coach Adam Bohanj asking the official who made the call if Starkey touched it before Newton did. To no avail, the lead is 5. Zach Johnson with it. Now Edwards up front, guarded by Talbert. Eric Brown has the assignment on Spade. He drives by him. Kick in the corner. Zach Johnson open for 3. He missed it. That's going to be a push in the back on Matt Stanley. As Starkey was going for the offensive rebound, it's going to be the 5th team foul on Ouachita. Second on Stanley. Allie Freeman into the game for Malin Martin. Again, Martin pushing through right now. Gutty effort from the senior. And his teammates are playing inspired and through him. Edwards looking for space, guarded by Freeman up top. Now Spate guarded by Ward. Starkey with the handoff. Spate with the long 2. It's short. Quaylen Newton battling Brown for the rebound. Brown has it. Freeman guards. Bumped by Edwards. And that's going to be a foul on Coleman Edwards as Allie Freeman just took a little contact and threw up a shot and will go to the line 4-2 with a chance to extend a 5-point lead. Halfway through the second half here in Bartlesville. Ouachita used a 19-4 run to take an 8-point lead. Freeman knocks down the first free throw. Kendarius Smith checking back in with 4 fouls. Eric Brown will take a seat. Jonathan Dunn in for Edwards, who sits down with 3 fouls. 1 more for Freeman. and he got them both. So the lead is 7. We're halfway through the second half here. SNU in need of a rally. Down by 7 to Ouachita Baptist, the 8-seed Tigers. Of course, the game in Bethany was a tight contest. The game in Arkadelphia, not as much. And Starkey gets inside of Stanley and puts it in. And the foul on Matt Stanley. That's number 3 on Stanley and the 16th foul. And Noah Starkey with an opportunity for a 3-point play here. So Franklin with 3, Stanley now with 3. And SNU with an opportunity here to cut the lead to 4. Starkey's free throw is good, his first make of the night after starting 0 for 3. He's now got 13 points to lead SNU. The lead is 4. Smith, now Talbert, guarded by Newton. Working across, Matt Ward, extended right wing. Now Freeman with it. 9 on the shot clock. Gets around Starkey. Great defense from Starkey moving his feet, and he lost the ball out of bounds. Allie Freeman collided with Starkey, no call there, and Freeman simply fell to the ground and lost the ball out of bounds, and SNU with possession here. A chance to whittle this 4-point lead down even further. Newton and Spate with a little weave action here. Spate looking for the entry pass to Starkey. Now Spate, pump fake. Now pulls the trigger for 3. It's off the mark, no good. Talbert had the rebound, lost it, and it goes out of bounds off of Dunn. Spate, a little bit of a forced shot there. He's 0 for 5 from 3, just 1 of 8 from the field. Does have 5 assists and 3 rebounds. But you can see the frustration setting in a little bit for Micah Spate. Stanley with it, extended. Now Freeman. Kick on the right wing to Kendarius Smith. He's guarded by Zach Johnson. And Matthew Ward, he's hit 4 3-pointers tonight. Smith gets inside. Took a nice stroll to the basket, missed the shot. Took about 10 steps to get there. Spade drops it off for Newton, who lays it in for 2, and the lead is down to 2 for the Tigers. Quaylen Newton with a huge 96 of 6 from the field. Spade imploring the partisans. Talbert gets inside, floater over Starkey's no good. Newton has the miss, and he'll bring it up. Leaves it off for Dunn. Gets it across the timeline. SNU can tie or take the lead here. Starkey wanted the ball. He gets it on Stanley, and he ties the score at 55. Noah Starkey flexing some muscle inside. And SNU's rattled off a 7-0 run in 2 minutes to tie this one. How will the Tigers respond now? Talbert up top, guarded by Newton, calling out for a screen from Stanley. He wants Newton one-on-one, and Newton bumps Talbert and fouls him. And that will take us to a timeout on the court. 7:31 to go. It's a whole new ball game. We're tied at 55 here at Bruins Fieldhouse. We'll take timeout and be right back after this. We're tied at 55 here in the first round of the Great American Conference Championships. It's the final game of the day here. 7:31 to go in this one. That foul on Quaylen Newton before the break, his third foul, fourth team foul. Franklin and Martin back in for Ouachita. Martin guarded by Zach Johnson. Now Kendarius Smith working on Dunn as it poked away, and he throws it away out of bounds. And Smith goes down holding his right ankle. He's down on the baseline. And Eric Brown's going to come check in for Kendarius Smith. Looks like he might have turned his ankle going down after throwing the ball away there. So Quaylen Newton inbounding in front of the Ouachita bench. Gets it into Zach Johnson. Gets it over to Micah Spake. SNU with an opportunity to retake the lead here on this possession. And they've done it by getting to the bucket. He's pounding the ball inside. Starkey is held and fouled by Franklin. That's going to be number 4. Nope, they get Eric Brown with that one, and Starkey will go to the line for a 1-and-1. Fortunate for Ouachita there that foul was on Eric Brown, just his second, as that would have been the 4th foul on Wesley Franklin. So Starkey to the line for 1-and-1. He's just 1 of 4 from the foul line this evening. But SNU needing both of these here. First one is very short, and Martin has the miss. Starkey just 1 of 5 from the foul line this evening. Eric Brown guarded by Dunn. SNU needing to rely on a defense that was superb over the second half of the season. Martin with the floater, and the foul is called on the floor. Going against Zach Johnson, that's his second. 5th team foul on the Crimson Storm. Ouachita inbounding on the baseline, gets it into Franklin. Now Brown with it, guarded by Dunn up top. Martin looking to create some space against Zach Johnson. Entry pass to Franklin. Franklin lost it. 7 on the shot clock. Eric Brown's going to have to hurry. Drive and kick. Ward pumps on Newton, gets some space at the shot clock. Buzzer in and out, no good. And Zach Johnson gets the rebound. Very fortunate for SNU there as Quaylen Newton went flying by. Not the first time that's happened this evening. And Ward's made SNU pay on multiple occasions. Spate drives, gets inside of Brown with a left-hand layup and takes the lead for SNU. It's a 9-0 run for the Crimson Storm, and just like that, SNU back in front by 2. Franklin, now Martin with it up top. Passes wide of Ward, and he steps out of bounds trying to save it. Turnover Tigers. And SNU getting the ball back with 5:41 to go and a 2-point lead. Ashton Charles checking in for Quaylen Newton. Big minutes here for the sophomore from Spring, Texas. Spate working here in front of us. Uses the Starkey pick. Charles open for 3. It's in and out. Ew! Toilet bowled twice and finally fell out. Martin back the other way. Pulls the trigger for 3. It's no good. Spate has the miss. Almost a crushing screen on Allie Freeman from Ashton Charles. Dunn using the body, missed the shot. Starkey missed it. Oh, what a tip ahead from Brown. Malin Martin missed the layup. Great defense from Johnson and Dunn. And you got to think whatever injury Malin Martin has right now affected him on that, as he is one of the better players in the conference and not apt to miss a shot like that. Spate drives, is shut off. Now Charles with it. Dunn on the right wing. He's guarded by Freeman. Now Ward switches off onto him. Charles pulls the trigger for 3 again. That's off to the left. And Eric Brown has the miss. SNU unable to capitalize here. Brown lost the ball. Zach Johnson the other way. Long lead pass ahead to Jonathan Dunn. Highlight lay-in for the Storm. Dunn went conservative with that layup there. And SNU extends the lead to 4, 4:10 to go in this one. And the SNU faithful on their feet here. Wesley Franklin, jumper over Starkey's no good. Rebounds tipped away from Charles by Ward, but Spade has it. Coach Adam Bohach calling out the play from the sideline for Micah Spate. It's now an 11-0 run over the last 6 minutes. Spate, now Charles, entry pass to Starkey, and that's a foul on Wesley Franklin, his 4th. As Franklin with the push in the back. And that'll take us to a stoppage and play. SNU has seized control once again, but the lead is just 4. Final media timeout here, 3:42 to go in this one. SNU leading 59-55. We'll be back after this. SNU leading by 4, 3:42 to go. That last foul on Wesley Franklin, his 4th, 8th on the Tigers. So Noah Starkey to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Matt Stanley back into the game for the Tigers. Morris Talbert also in. Starkey just 1 of 5 from the line this evening. First one is high and rattles in. One more coming for the big fella from Hutchinson, Kansas. Second one up. It's long, and Talbert has the miss, so SNU's lead is 5. 3:40 to go here in Bartlesville. The last game of the day, opening round of the Great American Conference Championships. Top seed SNU getting all they can handle from the number 8 seed Ouachita Baptist, but you'd expect nothing less from the Tigers as Stanley gets inside of Starkey and will go to the line for 2. Starkey's 3rd foul. And Stanley, just 7 points this evening, 2 of 8 from the field. He is 3 of 4 from the foul line. And he goes back there for 2 more. First one rattles in. Ashton Charles checks out. Quaylen Newton back in. Again, some good minutes from Ashton Charles this evening. Just 1 of 4 from 3, but he's had some really good looks. Second one from Stanley is in and out, no good, and Starkey grabs the rebound. So a push on the 2 foul attempts here. A little half-court trap. Newton has it. Quick swing to Dunn. Pass deflected by Talbert. Dunn gets it back up top to Spate. And Martin grabbing at his lower back. So it's kind of clear where the pain is coming from. It's a 2-3 zone here for the Tigers. Newton, the floater over the top of it. No good. Rebound tipped away and grabbed by Ward. Ward, nice dish to Stanley. And a blocking foul is called on Micah Spate. It's going to be number 2 on Spate. That's going to be the 7th team foul on the Storm, and Stanley will go back to the line for 2 free throws. That little half-court trap seemed to throw SNU for a little bit of a loop there, and unable to generate an efficient offensive possession there, although Newton was able to get a good clean look at that floater. but it was unable to fall. So Stanley back to the line for two. He went 1 for 2 on the last trip down. All the players helping the official with the towel down there. Looks like we're all mopped up and good to go. So Stanley with 2 free throws here. And 4 of 6 from the line this evening. In and out on the first one, but it ricochets off the backboard and down. One more upcoming for the sophomore. In and out, and that one falls in. So the lead is 2 for SNU, 2:45 to go. Ouachita with his 3/4 court trap here. Dangerous pass from Dunn, nearly picked off by Freeman. Baseline to Starkey. He's trapped. Ball's deflected and stolen by Talbert. Talbert guarded by Dunn. Stripped away by Spate. Dunn has it. Coming the other way. And Dunn will back it out. 2:20 to go. Huge play from Micah Spate to knock that one away as Talbert was going in to tie the score. Newton looking to entry down to Starkey. He's got it on the baseline. Runs through Stanley. Hook shot's no good. And a late foul call on Stanley as Newton got the offensive rebound and put it in. But the official waves that off and calls a blocking foul on Stanley as Starkey put up the shot, initial shot, through Stanley laying on the ground. And I think the official called the impediment on the ground. So Starkey back to the line for 2 free throws. Looking to extend this to a 2-possession game with 2:01 to play. First free throw from Starkey is in and out, no good. And just not a good night at the free throw line for Noah Starkey. He's got 8 attempts, but he's made just 2 of them. And right now, that looms huge in a 2-point game. Second one up, also no good. Newton has the offensive miss. Offensive rebounds have been huge both ways this evening. That's number 10 for SNU. Ouachita has 11. Dunn, fade away, jumper, no good. Stanley has the miss, and Ouachita can tie or take the lead with a 3-pointer. 1:37 to go. Malin Martin drives in, shut off. Matthew Ward, shut off by Dunn, creates some space, fade away 3 is short, and Starkey has the miss. 1:20 to go. Ward created a little bit of space there with a forearm shiver, gets it done in front of the SNU bench. If there's ever a time for Dunn to step up, it's now. He drives baseline, finishes through traffic, and scores! Jonathan Dunn with a huge finish through contact and a chance for a 3-point play for the junior. On a night when Jonathan Dunn's just 3 of 12 from the field, he has not hit a 3-pointer. A huge bucket at a clutch time. Free throw is no good, and Martin has the miss. 1 minute to go here. Martin up high, no good. Starkey the miss. Rebounds loose on the floor. Jump ball, possession arrow in favor of SNU. And you got to admire the guts of Malin Martin, who clearly not even close to 100%, putting his body on the line to extend his college career for another evening. But unable to do so on that possession. So SNU will have the ball inbounding on the far baseline with 55 seconds to go and a 4-point lead. Timeout is going to be called by Dennis Nutt. It'll be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. SNU with a 4-point lead, 54.9 seconds to go. Jonathan Dunn with a huge drive and finish over Morris Talbert to push the SNU lead to 2 possessions. And SNU getting some clutch rebounds from Noah Starkey on one end and some really good defensive pressure, making every Ouachita shot a tough one. Ouachita shooting just 34% for the game. They've been able to stay in it with 8 3-pointers. SNU just 3 of 19 from three-point range. Full court pressure extended now for Ouachita. Malin Martin's off. Kendarius Smith back on. Newton inbounding on the baseline, gets it in quickly to Spate. He's trapped and double teamed. Freeman strips it away. Wild shot, no good, and the foul call is going on Micah Spate. Not a lot of contact there as Freeman kind of just threw his body around, but Freeman will go to the line for 2 free throws. He's an 80% free throw shooter this season. He's 2 for 2 tonight, so an opportunity to cut this back to a 2-point game. First free throw is short from Freeman. One more upcoming for the junior. Freeman's got 7 points tonight. Second free throw is good. And SNU will again inbound on the baseline. Full court pressure, still extended. Newton gets it into Jonathan Dunn. Waiting for the double team. Now squeezes through it, gets it up ahead to Zach Johnson. And he's fouled by Allie Freeman. And Zach Johnson will go to the line. Opportunity to, again, push this back to a 2-possession game. Zach Johnson, the senior, just 69.6% free throw shooter this season. It's 32 of 46 from the line, so not a frequent visitor. And an opportunity here with 2 shots. First one is good from the senior. First points of the night for Zach Johnson. Couldn't come at a bigger time. Stanley checks out, Martin back in, so 5 3-point threats on the court right now. Quaylen Newton will check out, Chris Stevens in. Oh, excuse me, Starkey will come off. Quaylen Newton will stay in. So SNU matching small for small here. So 3-point threats all over the court for Ouachita right now. Johnson with one more, and he knocks him down. 5-point lead for SNU, 41.7 seconds to go. Martin picks it up at half court, drives on Johnson, puts it up over him, it's off, no good. Dunn has the miss, taken away by Martin, blocked. Foul is called on Jonathan Dunn, that's his 3rd. And that will send Malin Martin to the line for 2 free throws. Martin, the #1 free throw shooter in the conference at 90%. It looks like Zach Johnson's got a smidge of blood on his uniform. Or just a smidge of blood on his knee that's bleeding through his knee guards there. And he's back for that. So we'll see how the lower back issue for Martin affects his free throw shot. He has not taken but 1 jumper all night. He's just 1 of 7 from the field. And he knocks down the first free throw. Starkey coming back in for Stevens for rebounding. Martin trying to make this a 1-possession game here with 33.9 seconds to go. And he knocks both of them down. Matt Stanley will come back in for Martin to pressure the inbounder. So Spate, Johnson, Dunn, Starkey, and Newton on the court for SNU. Newton running the baseline, gets it into Johnson in the corner. He's trapped, and a foul is called. Johnson was calling for timeout, but the official got a foul on Kendarius Smith first, and that's going to be number 5 on Kendarius Smith. So that will send Zach Johnson back to the line for 2 free throws. 2 seconds ran off the clock in that possession. So Zach Johnson back to the line again, looking to push this to a 2-possession game. Fortunate for SNU there, as Johnson was looking to the official to call timeout. First free throw is no good by Johnson. One more upcoming for the senior. Second one is in and out, no good, and Freeman has the miss. Pushing tempo, lob up ahead, Stanley for the dunk. And it's a 1-point game. And officials are going to go to the monitor to review the clock, as the clock did not stop immediately on the dunk. Looked like there should be about 26 seconds left in this one. Right now the clock says 24.3. We'll see how much time the officials put back on the clock here, as Freeman pushed quickly up the court and Stanley was able to get behind the defense for the easy dunk. And they put 26.6 up on the clock. So SNU will still need to hit free throws here, but it's now just a 1-point game, as Zach Johnson missed both opportunities on that last trip, and Ouachita quickly pushed up court to get an easy dunk. Newton gets it into Dunn. Trapped in the corner. Now Newton gets the timeout. With 23.1 seconds to go, I will leave SNU with 1 timeout remaining. So SNU will once again inbound on the baseline. A little tough situation here for SNU, having missed those 2 free throws on that last trip to the foul line, and will need to make more if they hope to extend the lead and preserve this game. We knew this would be a battle this evening. Certainly always is with the Tigers. Very gritty team. They've given SNU all they can handle this evening. SNU having to dig deep in order to preserve this win. 23.1 seconds. Newton will be fixed here. Gets it inbound to Spate. He's trapped, and he's bumped and fouled by Stanley. Stanley not pleased with the call, but there was definitely contact there. It's number 5 on Matt Stanley. That will send him to the bench with those 5 fouls. That will bring Wesley Franklin back into the game. So Micah Spate to the line with 20.1 seconds remaining, looking to push this back to a 3-point game. SNU 13 of 26 from the foul line tonight. And in a 1-point game, obviously, that's a huge, huge number. First one from Spate goes home. One more upcoming for Micah Spate. Junior readies and gets that one to crawl over the front of the rim and in. It's a timeout on the court. That's the last timeout for Ouachita. Or excuse me, that timeout was called by SNU. The full timeout, we'll keep it here. Again, just to reset, 20.1 seconds to go. SNU with a 3-point lead. Ouachita will be inbounding on the baseline to our right, needing to go the length of the court in order to tie the score, or at least get within one with a quick 2. With 20 seconds left, still plenty of time to extend this one and make SNU hit some free throws, which they have struggled to do this evening. Again, 15 of 28 from the free throw line. They're just 3 of 19 from three-point range. Meanwhile, Ouachita, again, 8 for 20 from deep, 17 of 22 from the foul line, 11 offensive rebounds, 7 of those coming here in the second half, which allowed Ouachita to run out to an 8-point lead midway through the second half. SNU battled back and was able to tie the score and then retake the lead. And we'll see what the Tigers draw up here. Ward, Talbert, Franklin, Freeman, and Martin. A very ailing Martin. Freeman gets it to Martin, guarded by Zach Johnson. Ward, free for 3, and the tie, it's no good. Freeman taps the rebound out to Martin. Top of the key, 3 is good. 4.8 seconds to go as Martin hits his first jump shot of the night to tie the score at 66. Tremendous play by Allie Freeman to tip the offensive rebound back out top to Malin Martin, and the senior came through for the Tigers in the clutch. The officials reviewing to make sure the clock is correct. Right now it reflects 4.8 seconds. We'll see if that indeed was the correct time. Might also be reviewing if his toe was on the line or not. Couldn't tell from this angle. And an interesting scenario upcoming for SNU. 4.8 seconds to go. The best players from the field have been your big guys, Newton and Starkey. But obviously Johnson, Dunn, and Spate, your quickest guys, so it'll be interesting to see who gets the ball and who is able to take this last shot for SNU. Newton inbounding on the baseline. Ball comes into Spate. Quickly up ahead. 2 seconds, 1 second. Zach Johnson for the win! And it's long. Had a great look at it. And we are going to overtime here in Bartlesville. Great job from Spade to find Johnson in the corner, and Johnson got a great look at it, but was unable to knock it down. So we'll play 5 more. The day began with a double overtime win by the Arkansas Tech women. The 7th-seeded Blossoms taking down number 2 seed East Central. Hopefully we won't see the same upset on the back end, but we'll take 5 free minutes of basketball here in Bartlesville. So tied at 66, Malin Martin with the 3-pointer to tie the score with 5 seconds to go. So SNU just I believe this is the first overtime game of the season for SNU. So we will jump center, and now Kendarius Smith and Matt Stanley fouling out of this one. It takes on a whole new level of importance for the Tigers. And we will jump center circle. Tigers sticking with the small ball lineup. Franklin, Ward, Talbert, Martin, and Freeman on the court. Nobody with 4 fouls for SNU. Franklin has 4 for Ouachita, and Dunn controls the tip from Starkey. Just one 5-minute game here to determine who moves on the GAC championships here in Bartlesville. Spate hits the curling Dunn, rises up from the elbow. It's off, no good. Long rebound out to Zach Johnson, did not hit the rim. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Dumps it down low to Stark, who's guarded by Martin. He's wrapped up and fouled by Malin Martin. And Noah Starkey will go to the line for 2 free throws. Good job recognizing that mismatch there from Spate. And all Martin was able to do was just hug the big fella and send him back to the line, where he's just 2 of 9 from the foul line. Again, 15 of 28 from the stripe tonight for SNU, and we're in overtime because of it as Starkey misses yet another one. And right now you got to think it's in his head a little bit. Second free throw is up, and it's also off. And Freeman has the miss. Martin with it, now Ward. Freeman on the right side in front of the bench. Now Martin, guarded up top by Johnson. We'll see if Martin really gets aggressive now. Quaylen Newton out of nowhere rejects that shot. Spate coming the other way. Now backs it out. Starkey backdoor, missed the layup. And Ward has the miss. SNU unable to get the shots to fall that count. 1 minute gone by in overtime. Still tied at 66. Martin, step back three-pointer is short. Quaylen Newton, another rebound for SNU, his 10th. Micah Spate bringing it up slowly. Goes behind the Newton pick over to the left side. Dives down Newton, and one for Quaylen Newton. Foul's going to be on Talbert. And Quaylen Newton with a huge night tonight will go to the line to complete the three-point play. Third foul on Morris Talbert. And Quaylen Newton, a double-double, 15 points, 10 rebounds. Chance to push SNU in front by 3. Missed it very long. And the lead is 68-66 for SNU, 3.5 minutes to go. We think. Talbert curling down. Shut off by Dunn. Martin with it now. Ward driving baseline, dumps it to Franklin, stripped by Spate. Foul call is going to be on Micah Spate. That's number 4 on Micah Spate. Spate gonna need to have to be careful here with 3:12 to go. Spate with 4. Newton, Dunn, and Starkey all with 3. Zach Johnson sitting on 2. Franklin, high arcing free throw is good. He'll have one more to tie the score. Second one from Franklin is good, and we're tied at 68. Inbound comes to Jonathan Dunn, and Freeman doing a good job of denying Micah Spate here. Zach Johnson with it. Now Dunn up top, guarded by Talbert. Uses the screen from Starkey. Drives through, is rejected out of bounds by Talbert. And SNU will inbound on the baseline with 14 seconds on the shot clock. Spate gets it in. Dunn tries a three-pointer. It's long. Talbert has the miss. Ouachita can take the lead on this possession. Martin, guarded by Johnson, uses the Franklin pick. Ball is kicked by Johnson, and Ouachita will maintain possession with 20 on the shot clock. 2:42 to go here in Bartlesville. The number 8 seed Tigers giving the Crimson Storm all they can handle. A Malin Martin three-pointer with 4.8 seconds left sent this one to overtime as Zach Johnson's three-point attempt missed at the buzzer. Martin trying to create space on Johnson. Waves away the screen. Talbert with 5 on the shot clock. Working on Newton. Gets inside of him. He's fouled by Newton, and Morris Talbert will go to the line for 2. And a chance to give Ouachita the lead. It's number 4 on Quaylen Newton now. Talbert is 71.4 free throw shooter this season. He's 2 for 2 from the line this evening, and he's long with that first free throw. One more coming for Talbert. It's short, but it rolls in, and Ouachita has a 1-point lead. Zach Johnson controlling for SNU. Now Dunn gives it up top to Spate. Spate working with Starkey, gets the switch they want. Unable to get it to him. Johnson drives, poked away by Martin, and it's saved in bounds by Martin. SNU had Starkey on Freeman, but were unable to get him the ball. Wild pass to Ward in the corner. Dunn recovers. Ward knocks down the 3. With 1:50 to go, it's a 4-point OBU lead. Dunn went for the high pass. Ward was able to save it. Spate pulls the trigger for 3 to answer. It's no good. Martin has the miss. And SNU's in trouble now with 1:30 to go. And Ouachita calls timeout with 1:22 to go in this one, and a 4-point lead. SNU trailing by 4 and in need of a stop and a couple buckets. That three-pointer by Ward was his 5th of the night. He's 5 of 10 from deep. It was a wild pass from Talbert. Dunn went for it, got tied up in the press row here, and Ward was able to get back inbounds quicker than Dunn was able to recover, and had enough space to knock down the three-pointer to extend the lead to 72-68. So SNU again, 18 on the shot clock here for Ouachita. As the 8th seed looking to shock this conference tournament with a win over SNU. SNU in jeopardy of exiting here in the first round, trying to be the first team to win back-to-back GAC tournament titles. Of course, this game big for SNU's NCAA tournament hopes as well. Sitting 6th in the regional rankings right now. And a loss here would be not good for the Storm. Talbert inbounding on the sidelines. Comes into Freeman. 15 on the shot clock. Talbert pump faking on Dunn. Now Freeman with it, guarded by Spate. Martin with it. One-on-one with Zach Johnson. Drives baseline. Lost it. Creates some space. Floater is no good. Starkey tips the rebound to Dunn. 1 minute to go. SNU gonna have to hurry here. We'll see if we've got some Crimson Storm magic here in store. Dunn trying to create some space with Talbert. Goes baseline. Creeps back out. Now drives in again to the basket. He's fouled. With 46 seconds to go, he'll go to the line for 2. Dunn 2 of 3 from the line today. He's just 3 of 15 from the field, 8 points. First free throw is up and good for Dunn. RJ Palmer checking in for Noah Starkey. A little bit more speed on the court for SNU right now. Second one upcoming for Jonathan Dunn. It's good as well. Ashton Charles onto the court for Quaylen Newton. Newton does have those 4 fouls. SNU extending a bit of pressure here. Martin has it. 45 seconds to go. Freeman slips, maintained his dribble, lost the ball. SNU has the ball. We've got a jump ball. Ouachita will maintain possession. Nearly a steal there for SNU. Great hustle both ways there. So Ouachita inbounding on the sideline with 21 seconds on the shot clock, 36.8 on the game clock. Inbound comes to Martin. Johnson guarding him tightly. Gets the screen from Franklin. Martin working on Johnson. And he's fouled by Zach Johnson. Bohach can't believe the call. So Malin Martin will step to the line to extend the lead to 2 possessions. Again, a 90% free throw shooter, tops in the conference. 2 for 2 tonight. First free throw is no good. Palmer checks out, Starkey back in. One more coming for Martin with 26 seconds to go. 2-point lead for Ouachita. He missed them both, and Spate has the miss. Timeout SNU. 20 seconds to go. And maybe it just might be SNU's night when a 90% free throw shooter misses both and an opportunity to extend the lead to 2 possessions. It's a 30-second timeout here. SNU with the ball, 20 seconds to go. Coleman Edwards will check into the game. A 3-point shooting threat. You got to think SNU's holding for the last one unless they get a wide open opportunity. No timeouts left for the Storm. 1 timeout left for the Tigers. SNU has not hit a field goal in 3 minutes. And they trail 72-70, 20 seconds to go. Starkey, Newton, Spate, Edwards, and Dunn on the court for SNU right now. Edwards will inbound in front of the SNU bench. Comes into Micah Spade, guarded by Freeman. Here we go. Starkey comes up to set the pick. Spade drives in, floater off the glass is good, and the foul! Micah Spade through contact. Ties the score at 72 and a chance to give SNU a 1-point lead. That's number 5 on Morris Talbert. This game is nuts, folks. And we've got 3 more days of this. Micah Spade at the line, looking to give SNU a 1-point lead with 8.6 seconds to go. Eric Brown will take Talbert's place. Spade hits the free throw. Timeout OBU. And the SNU faithful roar their approval as Micah Spade gives SNU a 73-72 lead with 8.6 seconds to go. If you're Ouachita, not sure who you're going with. Martin has made some plays for you down the stretch, gutting it out through pain. But we'll see where Ouachita goes with 8.6 seconds to go. They'll need to go the length of the floor in order to do it. Obviously, SNU certainly not wanting to foul. But can the Crimson Storm survive? A very, very gritty effort from the Tigers. SNU looked like they had maintained some semblance of control at the end of the first half. Ouachita rattled off a 19-4 run early in the second half to take an 8-point lead. SNU came back to tie and led by as many as 4 late in the second half, but a 3-pointer by Martin with 5 seconds left tied it. And here we are with 8.6 seconds to go. SNU looking to preserve and not lose in the first round. Martin moving, gets it in, stolen by Newton, and he lays it in with 6.1 seconds to go. Martin gets it into Franklin. Stripped away by Johnson and stolen by Newton, and SNU is going to win! Storm win! Unbelievable! The final score from Bartlesville, SNU 75, Ouachita 72. What an unbelievable game, and what an effort from the Tigers. They gave SNU everything they wanted, but the Storm somehow found a way and came out with a 75-72 win in overtime over Ouachita. And you can say nothing but good things about the effort that the Tigers put out there tonight. What a finish. And all the SNU players paying their respects to Malin Martin, whose outstanding career with the Tigers will come to an end here in Bartlesville. As he walks off the court by himself, you got to feel for the guy. He did everything he could. Just a gutty effort, tremendous effort from Martin and the Tigers. But SNU somehow found a way to pull this one out. 75-72 the final. The Crimson Storm will advance, and they will take on the winner of Henderson State and Southern Arkansas at 5:45 on Saturday. Just an absolutely incredible finish to this one. SNU again down 72-68 with 46 seconds to go, and finish the game on a 7-0 run. A couple late steals, and the Storm come out on top with the win. So we're going to be joined courtside here in a moment by head coach Adam Bohach, and I'm sure he will be a man of very few words. I'm sure he is as stunned as we are. What an incredible finish to that one. Running through some of the final stats here. SNU ended shooting just 43% for the game. They were 3 of 22 from three-point range. They missed 16 free throws, but they somehow found a way. Ouachita hit 10 of 24 from three-point range. They shot just 34% from the field. They hit 20 free throws themselves. And just a tremendous effort from the Tigers. SNU, 4 players in double figures, led by Quaylen Newton, 17 points, 10 rebounds. Noah Starkey, 16 points and 8 rebounds. Micah Spate, just 3 of 11 from the field, but finished with 14 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. Jonathan Dunn finished with 10 points, just 3 of 15 shooting, but gutty effort at the foul line, hitting 4 of 5, including 2 really clutch free throws late. R.J. Palmer and Chris Stevens, 4 points off the bench. Coleman Edwards, 5 points off the bench. Ashton Charles, 3 points off the bench. And Zach Johnson with 2 points and the critical game-clinching steal at the end of the game to win it for the Crimson Storm. For Ouachita, they were led by Matthew Ward, 17 points. He hit 5 of 10 from three-point range, including the last Ouachita bucket to give the Tigers a 4-point lead with 46 seconds to go. Just an incredible, incredible comeback there for SNU. Morris Talbert, 13 points off the bench, and Matt Stanley, 12 points off the bench before each of them fouled out of this one. 7 points each for Kendarius Smith and Malin Martin. Wesley Franklin finished with 6 points, 2 points for Eric Brown. 8 points for Allie Freeman off the bench to round out the scoring for Ouachita. SNU dominated in the paint tonight, 44-20, and they needed every single bit of it as they were outshot from the three-point range, 30-9. Fast break points, SNU 16-7. No second chance points in the second half for SNU. And we are joined now here courtside by head coach Adam Bohach. So we're going to be joined here by
25, so they're waiting.
Coach, I'm not sure if we have any words to adequately describe what happened other than just an incredible effort from your guys, no quit at all, and just a tremendous basketball game both ways tonight.
Yeah, super proud. We couldn't make a free throw and, just got real tight at a lot of different times, but so proud of the way they stayed the course and finished it off. We could have cashed out and got beat there a couple different times. They had the ball up 4, I think, with 1:22 to go in overtime, and it's looking bleak, and found a way. And so super proud of that. We have, some good win.
How big is the veteran leadership on this team in a moment like that?
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. And, that's about as poor as I've ever seen Noah shoot free throws. He's just a click under 80%, and he couldn't make them today, and that's the difference in the game. I mean, we make 27 baskets. They make 21. We get to the line 34 times and can't make a free throw. And so really, really proud of the way we were able to stay the course and continue to fight and find a different way to win.
How nice is it for you guys to have that top seed and now get a day to rest after, just an incredible game and going into overtime? It's hard fought, physical. How big is that day of rest going to be for you guys?
It'll be big for those guys that played a bunch of minutes. And, what's hard about it is you don't know who you're going to play, right? So you're literally just sitting around, and you won't find out who you're going to play until 8:30, 9 o'clock tomorrow night, or whatever time that 6 o'clock game gets over, 8 o'clock, I guess. And so then it goes real quick after that. But we are thankful to win and thankful for the day of rest.
Coach, just a gritty effort across the board. Same from Ouachita. What were they doing defensively to kind of make it a little bit more difficult on you guys offensively?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought we got some good shots. And, again, when you get fouled that many times, we got fouled 27 times, that's good offense. And we'll cash those in. I mean, and that would have been a whole different game.
Absolutely. Coach, congratulations on a great win, and we'll see you in the press conference.
Thanks.
Again, SNU, a 75-72 winner over Ouachita Baptist. We will be on air on Saturday with the next guys game. Again, that will take place here at 5:45 p.m. against the winner of Southern Arkansas and Henderson State. That's the 4-5 matchup here at the GAC tournament. Just a reminder, tomorrow afternoon we will have the first women's game as they take on Southeastern Oklahoma State, the 3-seed Crimson Storm, and the 6-seed Savage Storm. We will have that for you. Tip time for that game scheduled for 2:15 or is 30 minutes after the end of the noon game tomorrow afternoon, and we'll have that for you with pregame about 10 minutes before that game tips off. So thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully my voice will hold out over the course of this weekend. If they are all like that, I assure you it will not. But we look forward to bringing you the rest of the games the rest of the way. So for now, good night, and we will see you tomorrow afternoon here at the Bruin Fieldhouse in Bartlesville.